comes Adam Fanua-Blake, leading out the Warriors. Rev up from Ewan Aitken, the former Dragon, and here they come.
Well, Adam Fanua-Blake, one of the best big men in the competition. I rate him extremely highly. No Matt Lodge today, so a lot of responsibility on him. And then, of course, there's Shaun Johnson. Shoulders a different responsibility to that he had prior. He spent 3 years at the Sharks where he had some very good periods. But if he can still produce the brilliance but bring in the control and the good decision-making along with it, has the potential to be arguably the best signing this season. Janelle Harris-Tavita, very inexperienced number one, and I'm sure with those windy conditions there this afternoon, he'll get tested plenty of times, but he's a quality player. I think he'll be up to it.
Reece Walsh suspended for round one. He'll be back in the one next week. Aaron Woods, one of the veteran pickups, as Anthony Griffin stiffened the pack in the off-season. And the Dragons, with the breeze at their backs, take some weight off that kickoff. And it is the leader of the pack to bring it back for the Warriors. Adam Fanua-Blake, signed until 2026. Just the one trial for the Warriors when they knocked off the Storm down in Victoria. Second game washed out against the Gold Coast Titans. Curran moving it on to Buntiafoa. Wade Egan is the dummy half. Goes to Nikorima. And here is Aitken, the former St George Illawarra centre, making a home in the back row with the Warriors. And here's a penalty late in the count first up.
Yeah, the Warriors will play attacking footy very early in the game. Not the sort of thing you want in the opening set. No force in there, but just kept his arm there, Andrew McCulloch, and gave the referee plenty of time to see what he was doing. So the Warriors on the attack now, just outside the 30.
And they get it centre field immediately. Through Buntiafoa. Debuted as a teenager 6 years ago now. Curran with that ball playing ability. The Indigenous All-Star. Now Johnson. Linking up with Harris-Tavita. Pass a little behind the teenager, Vailea. Playing at right centre, just his third game of NRL footy. Nice little dart out of dummy half from Eli Katoa. Had all the ball so far, the Warriors. The halves combined now. Catch and pass went a mile forward. The touchy is going to deny Marcelo Montoya an early try.
Well, he got rid of it very quickly, Harris-Tavita, but just pushed it forward. Formed up out the left. And there was no doubt that Montoya was in the clear. Just couldn't get the ball to him without pushing it forward. So Dragons don't have to do too much on their own line. The Warriors coming up with the early error.
Harris-Tavita's played 30 games in the halves. Come off the bench 7 times, playing in the fullback role for the first time here. Stopgap measure for round one. So the Dragons finally get their hands on the footy. Ravalawa with hard yards, and now Moses Sully, who's caught your eye in pre-season.
Well, I think he's added some strike and some power on that left side for the Dragons. They've got Zach Lomax out on the right, Moses Sully on the left. It's a dangerous combination. Doesn't matter which way the Dragons go, they've got someone with some potential, some ability on the edge.
Here's Jaden Sewer, played in last year's grand final with the Rabbitohs, adding real starch on that right edge. Ramon and Blake Laurie skipped through the first tackle as Curran tried to wipe out the legs of a blocker Laurie. Now Hunt. Cut out ball, made it tough on Sully, latched onto by Vailea, and that's an important tackle made by Cody Ramsey, otherwise the teenager was away.
Well, it was a risky pass, and I think the breeze is behind the backs of the Dragons, and you could see the breeze push that ball forward. Sully couldn't pull it in, even though he had one of his left arm outstretched to try and drag it in. It was a toughie.
For more on those conditions, let's check in with Corey Parker.
Yeah, afternoon, gentlemen. Yeah, you're spot on, Brandy. The breeze is definitely behind the Dragons as the Warriors now come into their field looking to score early points in this game. But plenty of expectation around both these sides coming into this season.
Late offload from Curran, and Johnson puts it in behind, and Ramsey will have to dot it down for a repeat set. Back to you, Corey, quickly.
As I was saying, plenty of expectation coming into this this season. That man there on screen, I'm sure that the Warriors fans will certainly hope that he has a season to remember. As for the St George Illawarra Dragons, well, they've recruited really well in the off-season, in my opinion, and in their current 13 they have 8 Origin reps, so plenty of depth in the right places. So a lot to be said about the Dragons side, and see how they go here.
Yeah, very good set there from the Warriors. The offload from Curran caused some problems. Kick from Sloaney, and he just got his foot onto that.
Oh, he gets rewarded for it. The biggest shank you'll ever see for a line dropout, and it made it tough on Eli Katoa, and the Dragons get it back somehow.
Yeah, he's got a strong breeze at his back. He was trying to put that 60 metres downfield. He almost missed the ball, but got the bounce, and Eli Katoa just couldn't pull it in. Shocking bounce at the death there, kicked up high. And they give away the advantage after a clever kick from Sean Johnson, found the in goal and got them the repeat set.
The Warriors had beaten the Dragons 5 times in a row before that win in Gosford last time these teams met. Then came the bye, then came Barbecue Gate, and it all went sour for the Dragons, who missed the 8 by a long way in the end with an 8-16 record. Both of these teams with identical records last season. And here's a leg up for St George Illawarra, given up by Aitken. So both penalties have involved him. What about the touch finder? Lands in the field of play, but still goes out.
Yeah, caught the Warriors short, and the ball even bounced in the field of play, but still found touch. Dragons on the attack now.
That's using the breeze. And DeBellin sets them up right in front of those uprights. McCulloch can go either way. He goes to his good mate Ben Hunt. Crash ball and no way through for Jack Bird, who was so impressive in the Charity Shield. Hunt links up with his halves partner. Here comes Sloan. Cut out ball. Ravalawa in the corner. And the Dragons on the board. After that penalty, they turn it into points. And what about the link up between some of the young guns teeing up the Fijian?
Yeah, nice ball there from Tyrell Sloan out to Ravalawa. And we were just talking about how dangerous they are on both sides of the field. Ravalawa is quite the finisher. They've got the speed of Ramsey on the left. And inside that, and there's the kick off the back of the penalty. The Warriors didn't get back quick enough and far enough with the strength of the breeze. They found 50 metres. 3 plays later, right side play, Ravalawa in space. Montoya had come in field, and Sloan beats him with a precise pass. Has to reach slightly in the air to drag it in, but didn't stop him on his run. And Ravalawa runs in the first try for the year for the Dragons.
And he's into the top 10 all time for St George Illawarra in the try scoring stakes. Try number 39 for him. 14 in 16 games last year to be clearly their #1 try scorer. And a great finisher he is on the right.
Well, it was only minutes ago that they were ready to do a set of defence on their line. Tyrell Sloan really gets the dropout wrong, but the bounce certainly favours the Dragons, and off the back of the penalty they find touch 50 metres up the field. And then it was a slick right-hand play that saw Sloan throw the cutout ball to his winger, the right touch line, Ravalawa. We saw that pass early in the game where Ben Hunt threw it out to Moses Sully, and you saw the wind catch the ball and just push it forward a bit. It is always harder to pass the ball when you've got the wind at your back.
How hard's this kick then on the wind front?
Well, it's tough.
Right footer, natural hook, and the breeze going to push it the other way.
Yeah, and last time, Charity Shield kicking for Zach Lomax wasn't good. No, he's an 80% kicker, Zach, so I'm sure he's done plenty of practice over the last couple of weeks to fine-tune his goal kicking. Let's see how he handles the breeze.
In game number 50, the 24-year-old with that thumb heavily strapped. It cost him many a week last year. And look at that, punching it right over the black dot. And the Dragons are 6-0 up.
Great start from the Dragons. Under pressure. After giving away a penalty, dropping a ball. Tyrell Sloan, his first try, the assist of the season. I think there'll be a fair few of those.
Can he score a try today, Tyrell Sloan? He scored tries in his first 5 games, 6 of them in total. First Dragon to do that since the merger. And can he become the first man in the Origin era since 1980, when the records were kept, to score in his first 6 games of NRL? Laurie brings it back with purpose. He's yet to score a try in his 80-game career. Woods off the back of it.
Yeah, don't be surprised to see Ben Hunt try a 40-20 at some stage. The breeze at their back. He did kick 3 last year and kicked a beautiful one in the Charity Shield.
It was a 20-40 in that game as well that they conceded, wasn't there, from Ilias?
Yes.
Josh off the ball. That's it, Adam. Hold.
Right up the middle goes St George Illawarra off the back of points. And now Talatau Amon. 12th game for him. Debuted round 9 last year and celebrated with a try and a win against the Dogs. Hung up here. Who wants it? Off the wing. They didn't get a hand on it. Harris Tavita there to tidy up after it went right through Montoya.
Well, we saw Zach Lomax and just how good he is at catching the ball off the back of a bomb. Ben Hunt, I'm sure, will throw a number of those up right at Harris Tavita and have Lomax all over him.
Forward pass is the adjudication. The Warriors can't believe this one. There was a little bobble from Martini Zalesniak.
Scrum me on the 20.
And you can't challenge that with a captain's challenge, but Sean Johnson waiting for the replay at the moment.
Well, he did have to reach forward somewhat. It was hard to tell from this angle. Just have a look at it now, Johnson.
Well, it slipped out, yeah.
Yeah. You can't argue with the call.
It's an eagle-eyed call, isn't it? You're not really looking for forward passes when a team's coming out of their own end too often, but slipped out of the hands of Johnson. And look at this field position for the Dragons.
Yeah, 9 minutes into the game. This is a big set defensively for the Warriors.
Heads in. Blake, don't touch Adam. Adam. Yeah. Heads in. Get the next scrum. Let's go.
Sloan playing the role of halfback. McCulloch moves it on quickly to Hunt. And there's DeBellin again. 30-year-old really setting the tone. Here comes Sloan. And Sawley can't get through that tackle of Vailea. He's got his hands full today against the bigger opposition centre. Laurie to straighten it up. Warriors defence under immense pressure here. Woods, bit of ball playing for Hunt. And that ball not on, knocked on by Jaden Sewer. The Dragons complaining about something.
Well, I think Jaden Sewer's saying that there was contact before he even got the ball. So Cody Nikorima stood his ground.
Well, they want to challenge this, captain's challenge-wise. Do you see anything on this early inspection? They're going to get it back? I don't think so.
Dragons are challenging the decision of Dragons knock on.
Well, he's saying that the right arm or the right hand made contact with the ball. So Nikorima's right hand was the one that actually made contact with the ball. Jaden Sewer's saying, well, I didn't touch the ball. Nikorima's standing there waiting for him.
But the ball gets tidied up by the Warriors anyway.
Nikorima makes contact before the ball makes contact with the Dragons player.
Oh, I think you're going to have to call that simultaneous. Now they're talking about the early contact from Nikorima. Did he hit Jaden Sewer before the ball got to him? Before he...
He's a knock on, so it comes off the hand. Yep, go again. Yeah, show it again. Yeah, I'm leaning on it's going to be an inconclusive challenge, and they'll retain the right to challenge. You happy with that there, Toddy?
Ashley Klein, you're listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to
The contact's nearly simultaneous. The
vision is
inconclusive. The Dragons will retain the right to challenge. The on-field decision will stand.
So to be a knock on there, Goffey. The Dragons will still retain the right to challenge.
That's inconclusive. The decision knock-on's going to stand, so be a Warriors scrum over here. The Dragons still have a challenge.
So Peter Goff, the man in the middle. Ashley Klein back in the bunker.
Yeah, middle scrum.
I can understand that they want to get Jaden Sewer running over the top of the little man, Cody Nikorima. Nikorima got up in his face then, and Hunt will be disappointed that he threw the ball.
Warriors on it. Keep going, Blake. That's it.
Well, in response to the East Coast floods, the Australian Red Cross has launched an appeal to provide assistance to flood-affected communities. To show your support, you can visit nrl.com/flood relief. Everyone thinking of everyone affected by the terrible floods in recent times. Warriors working their way out of their own end through Rocco Berry, another of the youngsters out there on display, just 20 years of age, the former schoolboy prodigy, son of an All Black.
And pretty impressive in his performances last year too. It looks like he's a real footballer in Rocco Berry.
This is his 9th game of NRL today as Katoa takes them up to halfway. Gives his kicker a little bit of room here. Johnson stepped around the pressure and tumbles it down, made it really awkward for Sloan, who made sure of the take and linked up with Ravalawa, as they did for the only try so far.
It'll be a good tactic early in his career with the number 1 on his back to get Ravalawa back with him as much as possible and let him take the heavy meters and the big hits. He's only a lightweight Tyrell Sloan.
To think when that first trial was played against Parramatta for the Dragons, he was on the wing, Cody Ramsey was in the 1, and we thought, hello, surely it's Sloan round 1 in the 1, and that's the way it wound up. Ramsey was brilliant on the wing in the Charity Shield. That early try in the corner. Blake Laurie just taking his time here, and he's been opened up, so the bunker might weigh in on this one.
You got anything there, Ash?
Yeah, have a quick look.
It looks like he might be spitting a little bit of blood.
The hands would have been there. Just having a look.
There is a little bit of blood.
But it might run into the shoulder of Josh Curran.
Yeah, Curran stood his ground, didn't drop. Blake Laurie drops fractionally, and that's enough for Laurie's head to make contact with the shoulder of Curran. Very difficult situation to rule on, and I don't think he can penalise Curran, but any contact with the head normally goes the way of the man with the footy.
Josh, smash your push up and get that play the ball next one. Just pick that ball up for us, Blake. Josh, push up.
Tohu Harris wearing the blue shirt. The Warriors can't wait to have him back in the jumper, of course, somewhere around mid-season, coming back from his ACL. That's helping the rehab process, just wearing the blue shirt, as Blake Laurie will be forced off here.
Yeah, coming off Frankie Molo, one of the new signings for the Dragons, will take his place. It's a pretty handy replacement. Current Origin player, Frank Molo, coming onto the field. And that's what I think a lot of people are impressed with, the buying that they've done over the off-season and the depth that they've added to their middles.
Brought his little brother down, who excelled in the trials as well. Michael Molo, look out for him down the track to make an NRL debut as Hunt gives it everything from halfway. This is travelling all the way down to Wateni Zalesny. Oh, what a pass! Sloan nearly picked it off. He found Harris Tavita. It was worth the gamble as Sloan hunted the intercept.
Hey, he could not have seen Tyrell Sloan coming, surely, or he wouldn't have thrown the pass.
He gave it enough zip to keep it away from the wrong number 1 as far as he was concerned. Hit Harris Tavita perfectly, but risk associated with it. Johnson, pass hits the deck. And Vilea putting a bit of footwork on Ramsey. They were trying to usher him towards that touch line. Did well to stay in the field of play. Fanua Blake was trying to force an offload, and he's coughed it up here. We're in live play, so we can't debate it either with the captain's challenge, the skipper.
6 more. Let's go, too slow.
Well, they're down a try, but they've only completed at 50%. Only been able to get themselves, actually, they're worse than 50% with that drop ball from Fanua Blake. And you can't afford to make that sort of start You're running into a strong wind, and all the field positions belong to the Dragons so far.
Sloan taken down, but they're inside the 20. Good ball again for the Dragons. Amone throwing dummies. And not bought by Aitken. And Whenua Blake over the top. Woods again links with Hunt. Oh, they worked it out in the end. Sloan clever. Back on the angle goes Jack Bird. It's another try for St George Illawarra. A bit to check out on the replays, but I think it's all fine.
Yeah, I think it is too. I think it is. The fact that Jack Bird cut back on the inside and the ability of Tyrell Sloan to quickly change the pass to the outside to turning one back in for Jack Bird. Ben Hunt goes right to the line, throws it around the back of Jack, almost ran behind him and just got rid of the ball in time to Sloan. And then it was Bird's ability to read where the space was, and it was back on the inside. Just watch how he cuts back. Almost got it wrong there, Ben Hunt, but didn't. And then Bird just chops back on the inside at the last moment. Combining beautifully there with Sloan. They almost got it wrong twice, but come up with 4 points off the back of it. And he runs into space where there was no one. Bunty Afoa coming across from the inside, but too late. And off the back of an error from the captain, Adam Whenua Blake, the Dragons run their second try in.
Info, your comms might be going to radio, so just, not that we're not doing it anyway, just make sure we're tied in our communication.
Smart player, isn't he, Jack Bird? And cut back on the angle. Sloan was good enough to react. And they've got 2 tries already. Sloan with 2 try assists.
And the key was the reaction time of Sloan. Sloan was ready to deliver a pass to Bird on the outside. He saw where the space was, but for Sloan to get the pass away, turn him back under, was very good.
Punches it through again, Zach Lomax, and 12-0, making the most of the breeze at their backs at the moment.
Well, we see so often in rugby league, if you want to hold the ball and complete at a high completion rate, that you'll get the job done. It's certainly been the case for the Dragons. They've dominated in that area. Only 3 completed sets for the New Zealand Warriors, but they talk about some superstars on the rise. That man on screen, Sloan, he's had a ripping start to this first half. 2 try assists. The second one going to Jack Bird, who is off contract and will be looking for a new contract here at the Dragons, if not somewhere else.
Yeah, it sort of broke in that trial game against Parramatta and became a talking point afterwards when Anthony Griffin was asked about Jack Bird being shopped around on the open market. He said that had been the case since late last year. So watch this space on the Jack Bird front, who's played 106 games in an at times injury-riddled career. He's such a good player, though.
Yeah, that is what's to like about the Dragons. With Bird on the left, with Moses Suli, Cody Ramsey on the right side, you've got Jaden Sewer, Zach Lomax, Ravalawa. And you got Hunt and Amone pulling the strings in the middle.
And DeBellin looking really sharp to start the campaign. Played every game after returning in round 13 last year. Chasers look like they might have been in front on that side, but Ravalawa makes the tackle and looks for the one-on-one strip on Montoya. The Dragons all on top of the ground here on the Sunshine Coast. Look at that hit. The contact after a metre gain.
Matt Nelly slipped out. Marcelo Montoya doing a good job to grab it from the second go. They needed that, the Warriors. Just too keen to get off their line, the Dragons.
They must complete this set. They've got good ball here. Chance Tavunga might be needed to get out there and help settle things down. The veteran, dummy half / middle forward. Aitken strong running. Up over halfway he goes. Good crowd in here on the hill at the Sunshine Coast Stadium as Curran goes to Afoa. Trying to slip through the tackle of DeBellin. Now Curran. Looking likely in the middle of the field, Josh Curran. Picked up from the Melbourne Storm. Johnson, a little bit of a hole was opening up, didn't release the inside ball where Harris Tavita was lurking. Now the short side play by Leah. Interesting. Charge down by Hunt, and now Ramsey's away.
Two very good pieces of defence there by Ben Hunt. First on Katoa, when he was looking to hit that hole and pick Chanel Harris up
Leg-related there.
back on the inside, and then gets out of marker.
I think it's a leg-related injury.
Just got that ankle twisted. Ben Hunt landed on it. It's Vilea. Went in to make the tackle and also blocked the kick.
Sorry, what? Not a stage. All right, we're going to keep going then.
And the pressure from that on the outside of that left leg.
Don't need the doctor, mate, so we keep going. Straight. Onside.
Nathan Brown has a decision to make because we're going to play on here with Vilea in obvious distress. There's a Dragon down as well at the moment. And he's taking his spot back in the defensive line. Oh, coughs up. The ball there does Moses Sully. And is that what the Warriors are after? Gifted possession here, right on that 30-metre line. Curran again, just demanding it. Harris Tavita tries to put Berry through that hole, but the Dragons' defence looked well organised on that right edge that was opened up by Parramatta early on in the trial. There was a different right edge on that evening. Now Johnson, and Bird didn't buy the dummy.
Hold Jack, wait. Go, 3.
Fanua Blake to Nikarima. And Berry has another go.
They're just getting their lines wrong at the moment. Look a little disjointed, the Warriors.
Pass hits the deck again. There's been a lot of that. They've been clunky so far. Pass flicked out the back. He's made a miracle recovery as Viliami Vilea getting on the end of that one. Now Johnson, cut out ball. And Wateni Zalesniak kick is freakish. The Dragons left it. It took a Warriors bounce, and they've got their first points through Dallin Wateni Zalesniak. And the kick worked out just fine.
How did that ball stay in the in-goal area? How did one of those Dragons players, and Ben Hunt was looking at Tyrell Sloan, who did make contact with the ball, how didn't it go across the touching goal line? Sean Johnson fires a rocket out to Dallin Wateni, and he just jumps over the ball. Tyrell Sloan didn't want to give away a repeat set, didn't want to touch the ball, nothing on. Cody Ramsey had to pull out of it and then gets an awful bounce back in for Sloan, but great for Wateni Zalesniak. And out of nothing, the Warriors come up with their first try.
The lure of the 7 tackle set, hoping it's going to go dead in goal and risking that with the bounce of the Steeden.
Well, that's the decision that fullbacks have to make. Do I play at the ball or do I leave it? He wasn't to know that the ball was going to bounce off the point and go back in field. It was almost over the line. You know, there was nothing on. And Wateni Zalesniak has done a great job because he had players in front of him, but has somehow managed to conjure up that with a little bit of luck, but still, you've got to be there to take advantage of it. And the Warriors 12-4. And I was just about to say for Warriors fans out there, don't give up. There's plenty of hope still about it. It was 12-0 moments ago, but the Warriors, out of any other team in the competition over the last 2 years, have come back from double-digit deficits. 6 times they've been able to do it over the last couple of seasons. So now they get it to within 8 points, and Sean Johnson with a chance to reduce it by another 2, but from the sideline.
You're telling me there's a chance he can kick this one. Welcome back, Sean. Your first conversion attempt is so difficult. And gives it the start outside the right upright, but right across the face. It was almost impossible from there.
Yeah, the angle to go through the post was very acute. Yeah, not much on. Wateni Zalesniak had nowhere to go, but yeah, that's a moment that Tyrell Sloan will want back. But he'll learn from it. Next time he won't be worrying about the 7 tackle set. the ball is anywhere near staying in the touching goal area, he'll take it out.
This guy's captained New Zealand. Great pickup for them in June last year. Made the early switch from the Bulldogs. That's 5 tries in 10 games now. As a Warrior. Oh, Fanua, Blake busts them! Right through goes the captain. He's running over Tyrell Sloaner. He tried to, and the fullback stood tall. But what a run from the front rower. You don't see that too often.
Well, that was great balance to stay on his feet, because he ran through a couple of forwards there and then found his balance and got to halfway. That's exactly what the Warriors needed off the back of their first try.
Now Curran. Contact came from Frankie Molo. Setting up for a play on that right-hand side with Johnson so instrumental in teeing up Fusatua for all those tries on the right-hand side in years gone by.
They're 10 metres out from the kickoff. 2 tackles left.
Egan linking up with SJ, stepping around a couple. Let Curran go through the hole. And Bunty Afoa to settle things down in front of those uprights. Nikorima's turn. Montoya has nowhere to go. And will hand it over on the last. So a disappointing finish to a stunning set that Fanua Blake started.
Yeah, look, just charges through the middle. Jack DeBellin one, Aaron Woods the other. For 120 kilos, he can run, can't he? Hadn't Fanua Blake. That was a disappointing finish to that set. They get down there with 2 tackles left. They're 10 metres out. Cody Nikorima threw it to player that was marked. It wasn't as if the winger was in the open. Cody kicked the ball into the in-goal area, keep the pressure on.
Any potential crusher there? Yeah, to put...
Just checking how bad this was. The crusher kind of action on Ravalawa. Oof, there is the body weight. And Fanua Blake knew was in trouble.
Just on that, Tyrell, just behind the line. Thanks, mate. Where you go now, Ben? Thanks, mate.
And look what's happened off the back of that. No kick on the last play. All of a sudden, they give away a penalty early the next set, and the Dragons will be back in Warrior territory very soon, and that's after he charges 50 metres off the kickoff.
And your captain is on report for that crusher. Saw how upset he was when he got back in the defensive line as well, Adam. Oh, that pass. No one wanted it. No hand on it either, so no damage done as Bird tidies up once more.
Yeah, reacted quickly there, Jack Bird. That could have easily bounced again, but he was standing back, raced to the ball. No, I'd be challenging that. He got shoved from Ewan Aitken there. There was a shove from Aitken.
But he went past him, didn't he? So the referee's saying, mate, that's your responsibility because you went past Aitken, but they are going to challenge it.
He made contact with his foot. He was trying to play the ball, and as he got pushed from Aitken, his foot dragged or actually kicked the ball forward.
Are you happy with him, any movement going forward?
I think that Bird is the one contributing to
that. Go. Okay, Will.
Going forward.
So he's underneath him.
He's allowed to place it right in front of him, right? That's within the ruck.
Ewan Aitken actually kicks
the
the ball.
ball's placed within the realms of where the ruck would be.
Ewan Aitken then comes through the ruck and interferes. The challenge is successful. There'll be a penalty there, Gocky.
Yeah. Okay. The challenge is successful. Yeah, I know.
You just got a feel for the game, don't you, Brandon? You'd like to think so.
There was never a challenge when I was playing.
It's a penalty because the markers come through the ruck.
Good call. Greg Alexander saw it. First up, he knew it didn't look right for the Dragons to cough up possession there. Instead, they've got another touch finder, and Hunt can afford to be conservative this time. Just drops it on the 30-metre line.
Wait for the tap. Wait, hold. Go. Up and square now. Hold square, buddy. Wait.
Nearly 25 minutes in on the Sunshine Coast. And Sewer against Nikorima. Watch that matchup throughout this contest. Big Josh Kerr is out there. Burgess and Sims were the starting front rowers in New South Wales Cup today for the Dragons. Now, running the angle was Lomax. Couldn't find a way through off the Amone ball. Talatauamone gets his hands on it again. Now Hunt. Forward pass that he forced out in front of Gajewski, who couldn't hold on. And then the forward pass, so it will be Warriors ball, no advantage.
Yeah, Gajewski had run past him. There, Ben Hunt. Just not delivering the sort of balls that he did in Charity Shield. Almost running himself into his back rower. Out the back was the play. Hunt was going crab-wise across the field towards the sideline, so the run for him was out of play.
Don't forget, you can win a once-in-a-lifetime access to Telstra's footy ad space during round 9 of the Telstra Premiership. Imagine your business on the big screen, the stadium signage, and even the broadcast. Join Telstra Plus and enter by March 21. Not too far away to hit that deadline. Oh, Ravalawa over the top, and the fans enjoyed that hit as Aaron Penne gets out there for the Warriors. Another pickup from the Melbourne Storm.
It was the Warriors making mistakes early in the game. Now the Dragons have coughed up the ball the last couple of times they've had it. Been able to get to their kick.
Meters being hard earned on this set for the Warriors. Again, he was trying to get that arm free for an offload amongst 3 Dragons. Coughed it up earlier in the half, Adam Fanua-Blake. Held on that time as Johnson punches it into the breeze. And Sloan played it cleverly. Again, letting his wingers do the work.
Aaron, Cody, Elliot, step, mate, hold, go.
Now Sloan with his hit up going nowhere. In amongst the big boys as Curran and Wade Egan wade in. Good legs tackle from Eli Katoa. Getting back into the line, so not too many metres on offer on the first 3 plays for the Dragons. The Warriors have responded well after giving up a 12-0 deficit. Gajewski plays it. Pick up from Manly. Hang time from Hunt. Martini Zalesniak well positioned. Driven back here by Sully.
Muscled back by Sully, isn't he? And almost lost the ball there. Sully almost ripped it out of his grip. Blake Laurie that was that made the initial contact. Should fire up the Dragons' defence. Murdoch Masilla on the field.
Second season as a Warrior. Wife Roxy is a Brisbane Bronco in the NRLW this season. Nikarima. A little bit of width here as Berry gets it to Montoya, and here comes Ravalawa, who had dropped back initially. Stepped up in the line in time as Johnson from right around that 40-metre line. Keeps it low this time, and Sloan has a bit of room to move. Signed until 2024. Long contracts for the teenager. So much expected of him. Gajewski keeps putting his hand up. Just 6 games last year at Manly, so looking for more regular game time. But getting a chance with no Tarek Sims as the tackle count restarts here for St George Illawarra. Hunt. Runners in motion. Sloan runs into Johnson. Slow play the ball. Sully's service for Hunt was a little scratchy. Short pass from Gajewski. No way through this Warriors defence. It's muscling up at the moment. Sewer tries to get rid of Nikarima. He's getting support out on that side from Rocco Berry that time, and Aitken helping out Nikarima too. Back on the angle, Ravalawa. Great defence from the Warriors, and they get the handover here.
Yeah, that was Aaron Penne over the top. Very good. Hard man to stop. Ravalawa, little set play there down that short side. McCulloch turns him back inside. Rocco Berry around the legs, and then Penne drills the Fijian. Drives him backwards, can't offload either. He's desperately trying to get that ball free, and there's an offload that'll help the Warriors.
Came from Harris Tavita. Found Montoya, who was ready and waiting. And there's Murdoch Marcilla right up the middle. He tried to get the arm free as well. The Dragons have been good at that. Third man in, just preventing most offloads. Out the back, great hands. Harris Tavita hauled that one in. The pass was a long way off the mark. He's shown some good signs today in that unfamiliar role. Curran up the middle. Off a Johnson pass, and here comes Wade Egan, and the Warriors right back in the contest. It's been some response. Reece Walsh loves it.
Well, they've taken the ascendancy in the last 15 minutes. The Dragons, that was their worst set with the ball, the last one that died with Ravalawa on the last play. They really didn't offer anything. Didn't stretch the Warriors' defence at all, didn't ask too many questions. Then off the back of that, the Warriors make easy ground, and then Gojewski out of the line. What are you doing? Where was he going? He's chasing Sean Johnson backwards, which opened up a hole you could drive a truck through. Curran with some footwork. Drags in Tyrell Sloan, and then down the middle of the field, Wade Egan, the dummy half, backing up. And it's been building to it. The Warriors have gained the ascendancy, and the Dragons have fallen a hole in that time. That's the ultimate sin in defence. Gojewski chasing the ball player, Sean Johnson, across the field. Lazy stuff there from Gojewski.
Got some talent watching on, haven't they? Ash Taylor couldn't crack the 17 today, but gives them great depth in the halves, and Reece Walsh will be back next week. And Wade Egan, off-season shoulder surgery, and then to come back, all that rehab work to come back and score a try in game one and give that shoulder a workout with a put down as well.
Yeah.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Outstanding set from the Warriors. Very good. Got themselves out of trouble. Ravalawa turned the ball over 5 metres out from the try line, and the Warriors in 3 plays were over halfway. Johnson dragging Gojewski with him, which opened up the hole. Double-digit comebacks. They're no problems for the Warriors.
Much easier look for Sean Johnson. Had to make sure of it, though. It's a 2-point ball game, Corey Parker.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a wonderful hit back from the Warriors, but we hear this word tempo in rugby league a lot, and here it is here. Sean Johnson just going across nice and slow and just dangling the carrot there for Jack Gojewski to come out of his line and then present the space for Curran to then go through. It's a big no-no defensively, so if you're out there, you need to just hold your line, but Jack Gojewski just couldn't help himself. Sean Johnson just had beautiful tempo. If he doesn't come at him there, he probably goes on the outside. In doing so, Curran through the gap, and then Wade Egan on the inside. Terrific hit back from the New Zealand Warriors, but the Dragons have just dead set fallen off the perch. They've been in full control for most part of this half.
What you talked about at the start of the game as well, Sean Johnson is a different player to what the Warriors fans enjoyed for so long. He's come back now at the age of 31. He's more of a game manager now, and also the smarts.
Well, it's about the experience, the control, the decision-making. It's not all about the brilliance, although, you know, I'm an unabashed Johnson fan because he can do things that not many could. A little bit of magic mixed in with the decision-making, and as we said before the game, he'll be a great signing.
Nikarima down that short side. And they close out the half now, the Warriors, and come in the second 40 with the breeze at their backs. This is tough. Well, he got there too early by Leo. We saw that last night, didn't we, at a key moment, and this is the penalty given up by the 19-year-old.
This is my pet hate. This really is my pet hate. Vilea had no idea where the ball was. How can you make a proper play? How can you make a decision if you don't know where the ball is? We saw it on Saturday afternoon down in Canberra. Jesse Ramey, the ball hit him in the head. Off the back of that penalty, the Raiders scored. Vilea, look where the ball is.
And the kick was that good. He could have jumped over the top of Ramsey and scored a try.
Dragons out of trouble quickly. Zully, plenty of metres on offer there.
Off the ball now, buddy. Hold, Aaron. Nice hold. Wait, go.
So many game-turning moments throughout this first half. And fresh legs in the dummy half roll. Moses Mbai, another of the Dragons' debutants today. Gajewski. He'll be finding out that Greg Alexander has made him headline material today with that defensive work a moment ago. Now Sloan. Oh, Sawley put it down. Did he have his eyes on the footy?
Well, the Warriors offered them a chance, but this is what the Dragons have slipped into over the last 15 minutes. They get to a 12-0 lead, and then now they can't get through a set. Passes aren't sticking. Just on the inside, you want to pop that up nice and easy for Moses Sawley to take. He still should have taken it. But they are scrambling their way to half-time now, the Dragons.
That was an awkward fall for Jazz Tavanga. Had his legs wiped out. And he wasn't expecting it. Looks like he's okay. Just to shake that one off. Back into the dummy half roll now. Penne trying to put some footwork on in amongst Mbai and company. Down in front of Johnson. Little kick in behind. It was flying and Ramsey plucked it. He was in two minds as he dropped the ball there, Johnson, and gave it everything.
Well, he did. But Ramsey was probably in two minds. Do I let this go? Because it's probably going to go out in the full. The way it came off his boot, it probably was headed towards the sideline, but a brilliant take from Cody Ramsey.
Stick him in the gully for the cricket team. Cody Ramsey, the way he took that one. Mbai to Hunt. A couple of Queensland Origin players. Now Bird to Sawley. Up over halfway they go and slipped out of the tackle of Vilea. And was back up for the Warriors, but the Dragons hunting some more points here before half-time. Hunt out the back for Laurie. One more pass and they might be away on that right-hand side, but Laurie held on. Rocco Berry with an important tackle over the top. Now Amone looking to tee it up for Sloan. Those two mates from under sevens days.
Moses, stay square, hold. Jaden, wait.
Curran's been everywhere.
He is that sort of player, Josh Curran. They've got the ball or they haven't. He's always in play. Or Tenny Zalesniak bouncing off Ben Hunt, grabbing a couple of more metres.
Debuted as a rooster, Josh Curran. I think it might have said Storm earlier, but he was a rooster before coming to the Warriors. Pressure on the kick here. Johnson from inside his 40. Manages to get it over the top of the fullback, and Ramsey there to collect. Do you feel like the Dragons need a bigger lead to take into the second half here, Brandy?
I just think they need to think about what they were doing. It was great in the opening 25 minutes. And it's just, they've fallen in a hole. They've gone away from what was working early. Execution has been poor. And Anthony Griffin needs to get them and just point them in the right direction.
Sawley, strong running. Wonder what Braith, Benji and Cooper have made it of it all. We'll hear from them in the halftime show, not too far away from getting back to the Clive Churchill studio.
Well, and this is a golden chance for them to set things straight. They get a penalty.
Do you take the two?
Gojewski, well, how far has he run back? He's run back away. I'm not sure exactly how far out it is. The penalty happened back up the field a bit after the ball was passed.
Time's on now, Ben. Just penalty. Away we go.
There was Moses Mbai asking the same question. Do we go for two or not? But they elect to go for touch. Would have been a tough shot. Down breeze from about 40 out. They want 6 points instead. Time to set it up for a pet play here. Gajewski, centre field to Hunt. Out the back, Amone and Rocco Berry makes a good one-on-one tackle. Josh Kerr almost went right over the top of Penne. Quick play the ball though for Hunt to go to work. Sloan back inboard. Lomax had come a long way from right centre. Did well to hold on in the end. Now, interesting one for the referee who's hedging his bets, and in the end, it's always a penalty when that happens.
Well, it is. Dived around the man that played the ball to fall on, and I think there was a dragon there ready to pick it up.
2 points.
Saying he wasn't square. Moses Mbai just took a step towards the ball. Sean Johnson's legs were in the road, and then Eli Katoa pounced on it, and he wasn't square.
Wasn't square at mark. If he'd come from the try line, might have been a different situation, but now they will take the shot at 2 as time expires and try and make it a 4-point lead at half-time. In a whirlwind 40 minutes. Another half that has flown by in this opening round. Tough for the players after all that work in pre-season to come up to this level of intensity, and we've seen it really affect the fatigue levels at the back end of games, and this one looks like it'll be game on for the entirety.
I think it will. Great fight back from the Warriors, who were very sluggish to start with. Dragons very precise in what they did. And things turned around, and the Warriors enjoyed some field position. Grabbed a try through Wateni Zalesniak. Fanua Blake was inspiring at times through that first half. The captain's badge next to his name for this one.
Lomax has really powered his kick so far. Of course, if it comes back off the uprights, the ball is still live here, so the Dragons have got to stay out on the field and watch what Lomax can do here. Warriors have got to be on guard as well, but it's safely inside that right-hand upright. And it could be an invaluable 2 points for St George Illawarra. They lead it at the break, 14 points to 10.
Disappointed in Ben Hunt's first half. He was brilliant in the Charity Shield, and I was expecting big things this season. Now, you know, there was a couple of things in his game in the first half that he wouldn't have been happy with, but he can certainly fight his way back into this game. But he needs to continue to take control of this, and even though they are running into a wind, his kicking game will be important, as will that man who just led the Warriors out onto the field, Sean Johnson. Now he's got the breeze behind his back. Something that the Dragons really didn't use, apart from a touch finder off the back of a penalty, which they did score a try. Josh Curran, very busy, getting involved in everything. He had a tackle bust, an offload, a line break, a try assist. So filling in that number 13 jumper. Of course, Tohu Harris still to come in the side, but Curran's proven himself to be a starter for the Warriors the back end of last year into this season.
And Matt Lodge is the other one missing today, the other big name for the Warriors. He'll be available next week. Busy first half for the referee, Peter Goff, who's about to get the second 40 rolling.
Here we go. Stay on side.
Johnson kicks things off, straight down to Ravalawa. And he doesn't rely on the big bopper like most would, happy to take it back himself.
Josh, all the way.
He's big enough, isn't he? Cart the ball back into the forwards.
So Kerr took play 2 instead. Laurie, what about his work rate?
Arms away now, Jazz square. Ellie, all the way here. That's it.
Recently signed a contract extension until the end of next year, Blake Laurie.
Nicarima up very quickly again on Jaden Sewer. He gets him as soon as he catches the ball.
I wonder what Anthony Griffin said to Jack Kajewski at halftime, whether the video came out to show him what happened on that Egan try. Now, Curran, he is everywhere today. Clever, soccers it away from Hunt after charging it down, and they're inside the 20 here.
Massive play there by Curran. Huge, charging down the kick of Ben Hunt.
And now they go immediately to that right-hand side for Johnson, trying to put Katoa through a hole outside of Ben Hunt. And no way through. Now Tavanga, Murdoch, Marcella. restart to come. Tavanga with no markers there. Tried to surge over from dummy half. Was worth a crack on play one. Murdoch-Masila, good work there, but you can't do that, can you? Even though you're on your own line, you can't come out and
you can't reach around and touch the dummy half.
It's a no-go zone.
He's involved himself in the ruck. Look, not standing square.
No, he's on the line, so he can stand anywhere, can't he? That player just cannot put his arms.
No, can't reach around and touch the dummy half. Don't get into an argument. Look, there's a try coming.
Hold the line, wait, go.
We're just going to bat for the Dragons fans, trying to work that one out. Here's Harris Tavita, and the Dragons defence against Montoya, who pushed the pass, worried about the touch line, and then heavy contact on Amon, and Harris Tavita knows that he erred there, and now it's a penalty to get them out of their own end, and that Hunt charge down kick doesn't lead to any points.
Well, not a great start, was it? Ben Hunt just putting a kick in the first set of the game. Curran was all over him, and just watching that as Harris Tavita dives for the ball. Here's the charge down. It was never going to get that in. It was Murdoch-Masila he drilled the ball into and then lost his footing. Curran cleans it up, but the Warriors didn't make the most of the situation and ended up pushing the pass with the Dragons retrieving the ball.
Still got that 4-point lead intact. And by looking left and right, he goes to Gajewski. And Kerr strong running up to the 40. Well, he never played the ball. That's because he was being held down and had his leg grabbed by the Warriors,
yeah,
the ill discipline.
And those penalties can go either way. He placed the ball on the ground. Now, that's a no-no.
Don't complain.
Well, let's not argue about that. He still had a Warrior dragging his foot, and now he takes it forward, and they're 20 out now, the Dragons.
Laurie takes them inside the red zone. Which way does Mbai go? He finds the captain, Hunt. Back on the angle, Sully. Bit of room to move. Slipped through that first tackle as he does so often. Tavanga holding on forever. And now Gajewski. And they're up quickly on Laurie for the short ball. Mbai for Hunt. Sewer.
Nikorima up again quickly. He gets away from Nikorima, looking to offload Jaden Sewer.
Had the arm free for a long time, but no one could loom up in the right spot for him. Hunt. Oh, throws the dummy, Ben Hunt. Try saver in the end. He's complaining about what happened off the ball to Lomax, but there's no penalty brewing.
It was Jazz Tavanga that got him by the back of the jersey, and that was it. That's the difference between a try and no try. Just able to hang on, slow him down long enough for Harris Tavita to get involved. Big tackle. That's a pet play from Ben Hunt, the dummy back on the inside.
And he fell for it. He was looking for Lomax to loom, but Lomax got tackled on suspicion.
Do you want a penalty?
I'm just wondering, like.
Well, referee's giving it the green light.
Thought so. Got to have eyes everywhere in modern footy. Lomax clearly tackled without the ball as a support runner. And the Warriors work their way out of their own end through Ali Katoa. Curran's work rate, but he left his teammate a sitting duck there. Penne says, thanks, mate.
Well, there's so little between these two teams. Benji Marshall summed it up, I think well at half-time. Kick from Sean Johnson. Gets it in before play 5.
Oh, what a bounce it was! Oh, Ravalawa! Well, it's hit the corner flag. Touchy says that was out, and it has to be Warriors ball as a result. What a prodigious punt it was from Sean Johnson.
He's kicked that from his 30.
Play the ball. Yep. So they touch it, and then it goes out. So
knocks it back in now, but I think it lands on the line, and it does. It touches the line there. So it's found touch a metre out.
Wait for me, Adam, just wait.
Or less. just didn't get enough of his hand on the ball. The point of the ball does touch the line. Touchy's got his flag up. Massive play from Sean Johnson.
Now Curran. How often do we see 40-20s turn into points on the next set? You can change games with it. Johnson to Harris DeVita running behind Eli Katoa. Tavanga keeps going short side. Johnson puts his man through a hole. The Dragons cried forward, but it's A-OK. Eli Katoa over untouched, and we're all tied up at 14 apiece.
Well, Sean Johnson, magic. Absolute magic off the boot and then the hands. He almost handed that ball to Eli Katoa. The pass was that short. Perfectly timed. The Dragons were calling for a forward pass. It will be interesting to watch on replay. But the 40-20 from inside his 30. A monster kick. Got Ravalawa on his bike, and the tap back couldn't go back into the field of play. 3 tackles later, they get to centre and keep it going the same way, and Johnson just holds it up. It was that short that it was hard to tell. I'm going to say it's forward. I'm going to say he just popped it forward. It was a double pump, and I think by the time that he did let go of the ball, Katoa might have just been in front of him. It'll look better on this angle. But he gets him into space, and the Warriors first to score in the second half. And just before he pulled off that 40-20, Sean Johnson, I was commenting about what Benji said. Whoever holds the ball will win the game. And I know that's a common theme, but I think these two, they are so evenly matched that just might be the case.
What about this young man? From Tonga, his mum and sisters both live back there. He lost contact with them for a week after that terrible tsunami that hit his homeland, and they're A-OK now, but his country has been tormented by that, of course. And he's playing for them today, as Sean Johnson in the comeback game in Warriors colours gives them the lead. It's great to have SJ back.
Well, 12. That was exactly the message from the sheds at half-time from Anthony Griffin, was to hold the ball. He thought in that first half they controlled the possession and the ball in that opening 20 minutes, and it showed on the scoreboard. And we just get a real good example on how stiff this breeze is behind New Zealand Warriors back. Sean Johnson comes up with a superb play for his team, and off the back of that, able to back it up with a marginal forward pass, but let's give it a try anyway. And the Warriors have done a remarkable job to get themselves back into this fight.
So the Dragons now playing catch-up. Still more than half an hour to go in round one. It's shaped as a toss of the coin kind of game, and it's turning out that way for now. Fanua Blake, what a leader of the pack he is. Some stunning runs from the captain. Up around 100 metres gained already. Katoa strong running, offload for Harris DeVita, back to the skipper. Curran says, where to next? He's out the other side, no one looming up on his left shoulder. What a damaging player he has been for the Dragons, trying to contain. And now Nikarima. Oh, Aitken out the other side, somehow held on, with Sewer looking to cut him in half. Sewer can't believe the pass was thrown. Now Nikarima angles it in behind. Tough for Hunt, can he get out of there? He can! Terrific effort.
Just what they needed from their captain. Oh, he spilt it. I think he's made the error. Just looked like he got it tangled up in his hands and his feet as he tried to play the ball. He's done the hard stuff. There's the kick from Nikarima. In goal, Ben Hunt. He had Adam Fanua Blake coming towards him. He was able to get down low and just fumbles the ball.
Now his team has to aim up defensively here. The Warriors start with the scrum centre field, just 10 metres out. Can they score straight off this one? Johnson defeated.
Jump out early. Stay in, all in.
Tavanga locking it, and Johnson goes right. Lovely pass, but too tough for once. Henny Zalesniak tried to flight it. It has to be a knock-on, it always is. And the Dragons and Ben Hunt emerge unscathed.
Yeah, and breathe a sigh of relief. Johnson always risky in the breeze to throw a long one, just trying to lob it over the top. The passes that became so fashionable last year, the Harbour Bridge pass over the top, just too high there for Watene Zalesniak to handle. That is disappointing for the Warriors. Big chance there to extend their lead. Down 12-0, find themselves up 16-14, and a mistake off the scrum win.
Do you like them trying to go for the killer blow off the scrum? Is that the best chance for them?
Well, if they execute that right, that's, you know, if it falls into his lap, Watene Zalesniak scores, but there is that slight risk because of the conditions. And Corey just told us how windy it's become up there on the Sunshine Coast.
It's only game 3 of our quadruple header today on Fox League. Don't forget, West Tigers against the Storm is up next. Pappenhauser's hair caught the eye in the halftime show. The boys were mighty impressed. And what a fantastic player he is to watch as Michael Maguire's men try and contain the Melbourne Storm and Craig Bellamy's unbelievable record in round 1. Now Amon hangs it up. Who wants it? Montoya mistimed the leap but came down with it.
He was almost back down on the ground by the time he caught it, but still came up with the ball, and that's important. Laurie misses the tackle there on Rocco Berry.
That's on a safer link up between Johnson and his winger. Kenner, huge athlete, really covers the ground effortlessly, the big man. Katoa off a Johnson pass again, and Hunt made a terrific tackle on a much bigger man. Pressure on the Johnson kick. Had that upright to worry about. Tried to get the foot into the in goal, but it was after the event, and the ref said play on. Good communication. And Ravalawa almost out to the 20.
A good run from Ramsey, another 10 metres for the Dragons.
Feel like they're pushing uphill now, St George Illawarra. Trailing by 2. Sewer made it tough on Tavanga, but he stuck to the task and played his part.
And that's what they're battling with, the Dragons now. They had ascendancy in the opening 20 minutes. They led 12-0. How do you get it back after losing it for the period that they have?
Well, DeBellin helped provide it. He's back out there now, playing his part on that previous play. Montoya, clever, good footwork, but Ravalawa there to follow up. A little tug on the leg, he'll get away with it. Amon tried to strip it away from Nicarima as the 2 5/8s went head-to-head. Harris Tavita, who may well find the 14 on his back next season or somewhere amongst the reserves. They've coughed it up here, trying to get expansive, the Warriors, and Moses Sully tries to accelerate.
And almost got himself through there. Jazz Tavanga with another desperate stop. Yeah, poor ball for Fanua Blake. Down at the feet of the man intended to catch it.
Now DeBellin. Hunt says to Sewer, what do you got? Takes on Tavanga again, who's such a rock in the middle for the Warriors. Bit of a heart-to-heart between he and Nathan Brown at the end of last season too. Gajewski, oh, the offload, and he found Hunt. Little double pump to Sloan, and the Warriors numbered up successfully, but right through the tackle of Johnson, and the try saver made by Harris Tavita. Fullback on fullback. Tyrell Sloan fighting out of his weight division, trying to pick a fight with Adam Fanua Blake. He's been tied up here by Harris Tavita, and the ref's got to get on top of things here.
On tackle 3.
Settle down, boys.
You got the ball, Tyrell. You don't want to turn it over. Get everyone back on side.
Don't go early.
Still 3 tackles left.
Hold the line, we're on tackle 3. Hold the line. Hold.
Look at Egan's starting position here. It's all above board. He didn't chop the arms of the dummy half. Sewer sees plenty of it on that right edge. Tends to cut back in. Set up for a play on that left-hand side. And Bird tracked down by his opposing back rower. McCulloch, little kick in behind, didn't get enough on it. Little touch on the way through, and the Warriors tidy up.
It has fallen off the cliff. The Dragons over the final 15 minutes as they push it past again. The Warriors. Adding Fanua-Blake in the last set. Watene Zelezniak, was he trying to pass the ball there, or was it just knocked loose because of the contact of the tackle? It's hard to tell, but neither side, they're offering the Dragons plenty of chances. The Dragons, oh, that was Blake Laurie over the top. Powerful shot. He did try and push that out, it looked like.
Clearly goes forward. It's the right call. Watene Zelezniak may be stunned by a little head clash there, inadvertent one as well, before Laurie got involved. That stunned him a little, going backwards, tried to force one out the back.
Well, unless the Dragons improve their execution, it doesn't matter whether they're at this end of the field or the other end, they're not going to come up with points. That last set that they threw at the Warriors wasn't good enough.
Here's Simone. Another big set defensively for the Warriors, who offering up opportunities for St George Illawarra to click and stop being clunky. Rolled onto the back is Blake Laurie. Strong wrestling work over the top from Fanua-Blake, and he's added a bit on too. Really slowed it down. Now Hunt, Sloan, early service for Sully. From side to side, the Warriors' defence looking solid so far.
Well, they're just passing the ball. No one's engaging the defence. They're just moving across the field, marking up on whoever they need to. It's not a challenge for the defence.
Gajewski.
It's all happening a long way from the defensive line.
Hunt. Mbai. Ravalawa over the top. Brilliant efforts. Raw power from the Fijian. He's got two today. And boy, did the Dragons need that. A bit of individual brilliance.
Yeah, because it didn't happen on the inside, and it required the power of Michaeli Ravalawa. Anyone less powerful than this beast would not have got there, and how he controlled the ball. He hit the ground before the try line, was still able to control it as he slid across the line. Mbai did enough just to make it a one-on-one tackle. That's all Ravalawa needed, just one crack at Marcelo Montoya. Berry takes Moses Mbai, and it leaves Montoya on his own. Oh, that's come out.
Didn't regain control.
I think that's come out. We'll be going upstairs to have a look at that, no doubt. I thought he'd done a job to control it, but looking at it front on, it looks like it has rolled out.
It's confirmed. Bunker's happy with it. Ashley Klein has given this the all clear. Ball's come loose and he's maintained control.
His hand stayed on the ball. So even though the ball moved, his hand did not leave that ball. And he got it to ground quickly enough. So it wasn't dropped from the air. It looked like it rolled out of his hands in that first look at the front on shot. But the second one again showed that his hand, even though the ball rolled off his wrist a bit, his hand never left the ball.
That's 40 tries in 52 games. Great strike rate.
He's a machine, and we just have a look at him. You know, how do you stop him a couple of metres out from the line? Montoya is no shrinking violet either. He did his best, but you need a lot more to stop Ravalawa.
Jack Bird is the new goal kicker. No Zach Lomax. What can he do from the impossible angle? Tries to get it shaping the other way. Struck it pretty true, Jack Bird, but no chocolates. And it's a 2-point ball game in favour of the Dragons now, thanks in no small part to this guy, Michaeli Ravalawa. Just 24 years of age. Another Fijian winger lighting up the NRL. And don't forget, Magic Round returns to Brisbane this May for an epic 3-day festival of footy and entertainment. You can secure a 3- or 1-day pass at nrl.com/tickets. That's one of the Warriors' home games this year at Suncorp during Magic Round. Oh! Ravalawa! What a mistake. Still celebrating his double and thinking about the hat-trick, and it got big on him.
Oh, he didn't even get his hands to it before it hit his chest. It went straight through his hands and has bounced off his chest, and it will give the Warriors a chance now. Ben Hunt telling him to clean it up and don't just let it roll in the field of play. It gets out. Here they come, the Warriors now, with a chance to hit back.
Tough one for the coaches watching on, these mistakes inside their own 20 at both ends from both teams. Offering up possession like this. Harris Tavita, 10 metres out. Tavaga to set them up, and Johnson ready to go to work. Egan goes to the fullback. Oh, ball came out. Well, go and grab it. He was looking at it there.
Knock on there.
Andrew McCulloch, and a clear knock on has been spotted.
Normally, Andrew McCulloch would be straight onto a ball like that. I was just wondering why he took his time. I think he must have thought maybe the Dragons got a hand to it and he was in front of him. He just wasn't sure. But he wasn't sure.
Just holding off on the Aaron Woods return.
The error rate would be killing both sets of fans, absolutely driving them crazy, but it has added to the excitement of this game. The Warriors, mistakes down their end, giving the Dragons a chance. Ravalawa comes up with a try. The Warriors spoil a chance that was gifted to them by Ravalawa off the kickoff.
So Zach Lomax about to return from his HIA that took him out of the goal-kicking responsibilities a moment ago. Woods, all his experience handy right now in a tight contest.
Yeah, they don't want to slow play the balls, the Dragons. They've got to get on a roll so they get it far enough upfield because they're kicking into the teeth of this breeze.
So Bailey Sirenen out there now. Fresh legs for the Warriors involved in that tackle in the 17. Mbai! Mesmerising. And made the line break. Taken down quickly enough by Nicarima. Hunt off the back of it. Harris Tavita as the crowd gets involved. Dragons fans trying to put him off, but up for that challenge.
Yeah, well, the run from Membai set up that kick, and they've got the Warriors now just outside their 10. Wasn't looking like that before Membai darted out of dummy half.
Martini Zalesniak taking on the big men. Fanua Blake trying to spot a hole off the back of it. Johnson hunting another 40-20. What a purchase, and Ravalawa, that's a clever little touch. Back into his own in goal, but avoids another 40-20 issue.
He was ready for this one, Michaeli. He was a long way back. Got a hand to it, which just straightened it up and
let's get behind the ball.
Sent it back in field. Now the Dragons again working it out. Speed of the play, the ball was... The Warriors trying to force the error, give themselves another chance.
Molo now. The Dragons got a Friday night game coming up against Penrith in round 2. And the Panthers look so ominous in the season opener. I'd love to bank a win here first up on the road in Queensland. And the Warriors, they've got the Titans on the Gold Coast next weekend. They're Queensland neighbours this season. Hunt again, off the outside of the boot a little. Awkward for Montoya, made it look easy. Lomax wants to talk it over.
Just some back play here. Aaron Woods is leaving the field. Aaron Woods leaving the field with what looks to be a hamstring injury.
only just out there again for a second stint. That's a big blow. Another headache for Anthony Griffin to try and utilise those interchanges. That's the role you play at origin level, Brandy. What a headache that is.
Yeah. Aaron Woods, you can see him grab that left hamstring. Offload there from Adam Fanua-Blake. Keeps things going for the Warriors.
Could open the door for Burgess, who played in the New South Wales Cup today for next week. As Johnson angles it in behind and just had the bend to take it away from his winger.
Yeah, kicked a little harder, but it was obviously a kick forward. Tenny Zalesniak, he got the angle on it to arc towards the sideline, and his winger Zalesniak just not able to get there. Breeze probably kicked it on a little harder than he thought. 2-point ball game, 15 to go.
Tabunga down low on big Josh Kerr. And plenty going on down on the sideline in this one as the Dragons work those changes, and the unscheduled one for Woods off with a hamstring. Hunt for DeBellin.
He dragged Tabunga another 5 metres. Good post-contact meters there from DeBellin.
Kerr, second hit up on this set. Mbine looking for that quick play of the ball to give Hunt some room. Hang time is there. Pressure on the taker. He got there, Jack Bird. He's a bit of a freak, isn't he? Gets the kick away on the follow-up and nearly worked out for Lomax.
Well, that was an incredible piece of play there from Jack Bird. Somehow caught the ball on the full. And he caught it because he kept his eyes on the ball and then was able to kick it again. Great contest in the air. As he was going the ground, got a kick away. Oh, they go for a crossfield kick there, the Warriors, but Cody Ramsey there to clean up. That's good field position now for the Dragons.
Now Sloan around Fanua-Blake and trying to surge through that hole that closed in the nick of time as Sirenan and Aiken got to him. Oh, little flick pass from Sewer, likewise from Lomax. Ravalawa, hat-trick! What a start to the season! What a game this is! And Ravalawa has 3, gets to that corner off back-to-back flick passes.
Well, nearly every time Jaden Sewer's run the ball in this game, he's had that right arm free, ready to flick it out. He's kept it tucked in, but this time gets one away to the man who is a genius at flick passes, and that is Zach Lomax. The ability of Lomax to drag in the winger. He didn't do a great job in dragging in the winger, and Ravalawa had no room to move and stepped back on the inside to beat Montoya, who's having a nightmare against Big McKaylee. Then over the top of Harris DeVita, drags him into the in-goal area. Great play. Great evasive play there from Ravalawa. Keep his feet on the ground, stay balanced enough. Jaden Sewer, Cody Nicarina, Rocco Berry grappling at Zach Lomax, and Ravalawa just gets it down as he's dragged across the touchline by Harris DeVita. That is special play down that right side from the Dragons. And in particular, that man. He still had plenty to do. Despite the flick passes, he still had plenty to do.
What about those replays and the camera angles captured by our Fox League team to watch the no-look flick pass from Zach Lomax for the try assist? Absolutely phenomenal. Look at those numbers for McKaylee Ravalawa as well. A hat-trick in round 1. You've got him in Supercoach. You're sitting pretty.
If you got him as your captain, well, doubly as good. 22-16. Can Zach Lomax put this over from the sideline to make it an 8-point ball game?
And that would be huge. The 8-point margin. If he can somehow punch this one through. He might have learned a little from Jack Bird's attempt.
Gee, they've paid a heavy price for some errors and decisions they've made, the Warriors. And while the Dragons were happy to give them back.
Oh,
No.
almost a shank from the man in game number 50.
And that is your old-fashioned shank, that's for sure. But Jaden Sewell, we talk about some new recruits. He's one of the best, and he has been one of the best of the Dragons tonight. Nice little flick pass there, as you mentioned, Brandy. But Ravalawa, at times he can be rocks, at times he can be diamonds. He's been a little bit of both tonight, but he comes up with a very, very important try for the Dragons. But the crossfield kick was a super high-risk play, still with plenty of time on the clock, which then allowed him to have some field position to get down in there, and Ravalawa loves it.
Still just a converted try away for the Warriors.
Yeah, strange play. Cody Ramsey was in position for that crossfield kick. It wasn't as if they had, you know, a number advantage on that side of the field. And with the strength of the breeze, they would have been better off just punching it long, and Johnson's done that successfully this half. Just to give the Dragons another free shot at your line.
He did well, Ramsey, to get there on the full, didn't he? Turned around, read it well in flight, and stopped it getting through to Vilea, who was the target of that crossfield kick. Jaden Sewell, Dragons fans will like what they see from this recruit in game one. Hunt powers it down towards Harris Tavita, able to stay grounded. Shape to take off and realised there was no one coming this time.
Well, he's had a difficult night, hasn't he? He's handled everything in the air and along the ground in terms of the kicking, but he's had Mikhaili Ravalawa running at him 3 times, which is almost impossible when you're on your try line.
Still time to do some damage at the attacking end for the man wearing the number 1. Gets his hands on it here. Katoa thinking about a flick pass a la Jaden Sewell. Egan. Oh, tough pass on Bunty Afoa. Exceptional work to hold on. Johnson on the last. Tries to hang it up. They're not going to get there to put any pressure on Ramsey. Has to bring it off his own try line.
I think the Warriors, and you know, there's still 9.5 minutes left in this game, and they're only a try down, a converted try down. But the kicks from around halfway you got to try and get some errors out of the back 3 of the Dragons, and just putting that conventional end over end bomb up isn't going to do the job. Throw up a spiral, throw up a floater, make it tough for the back 3 in this breeze.
Lomax will be asked to play it again after getting rid of Rocco Berry.
No, Zach, back it up in line with the touchdown. Go 3.
Molo, the former Cowboy. Got a bench roll to start the season. Hunt threw a dummy, and Johnson held on in company with Katoa. So Hunt's out of the equation on the last. Talatau Amon takes over. Doesn't have the same kind of kicking game as Hunt, and it nearly worked out. It does work out. Well, ref said it went backwards initially. It was okay until Harris Tavita coughed it up.
Okay, so they'll rule it the second one, not the first one. I thought Wateni Zalesniak knocked the ball forward. He was hit. The kick from Amon just got caught in the wind. There's a knock on. And Harris Tavita's pushed it forward anyway. And at a time of the game where the Warriors needed to have the ball, they've turned it over inside their own 30.
He was throwing a no-look pass, and they just got the ball back. Harris Tavita.
Yeah, because, well, I guess Harris Tavita thought it was an all or nothing, because I think he thought Wateni Zalesniak knocked it on, which he did.
But it had been given the all clear. They could have had a full set.
That's crazy stuff there from Harris Tavita.
And the Dragons extend their lead beyond that converted try. Talatau Amon gives himself up. You have to. And Kerr was providing the obstruction. Some refs will just blow the whistle there, but if you give yourself up, you're a fair chance of being able to play on. And now, Bird had runners in motion, held onto the footy and Johnson got to him.
Hold the line.
Hunt out the back for the teenager. Heading towards Ravalawa's side again. Doesn't get to the winger this time.
Last tackle release, Cody. Hold.
A moan to Mbai. Hunt. Little kick stabbed in behind. Awkward bounce for Vilea. Dragged into the in goal, and the referee says that's all momentum. And the Warriors thought he might have stayed in the field of play.
Yeah, I don't think he ever stopped moving. You know, they'll penalise a defender if the player with the ball stops moving, and I don't think Tyrell Sloan allowed that to happen.
Really clever by the Dragons, number 1. Look at that dropout. World record. 65 on the fly. It's going to go 90 on the bounce. You don't see that too often. Bring it out of your own 20, Dragons, off the line dropout.
That's a way to get the ball to the other end, isn't it? And make the Dragons do some work. Francis Molo with it now. The Warriors desperate to force an error here and come up with some field position. DeBellin splits them.
Still going, Jack. Inside the 40. Hunt off the back of it. Set up for Tyrell Sloan. History beckons. Held up by his opposing fullback. Still going, Tyrell. That close to being the first man in the NRL era to score in his first 6 games. Mbai finishes the job, and the Dragons might have done enough now. In round 1 against the Warriors on the Sunshine Coast, St George Illawarra are celebrating.
Yeah, it was a poor start to the second half by the Dragons. They trailed 16-14. They have since scored 3 tries. The Warriors just continue to offer them chances. DeBellin with a great surge, splitting those middle defenders open. Ben Hunt goes to the line. Tyrell Sloan back on the inside. He gets to within a metre or 2 of the line, and then the Warriors' defensive line was absolutely shot. Here's the inside ball, Sloan getting through. Harris Tavita does enough to knock him off his feet. He gets up, goes again. But then the speed of the play, the ball, and the fact that the Warriors just couldn't get back on side quick enough in numbers, caught on their line. Moses Mbai just throws himself into the in-goal area. And they put this one to bed. 26-16, kick to come.
Well, think of the recruitment drive that St George Illawarra went through after missing the finals last season, barbecue gate and all that. Sewer, outstanding on the right edge. Frankie Molo off the bench. Woods has unfortunately done a hamstring. Gajewski's got his hands on the footy a lot. Mbai with the match-sealing try, it appears. Sully's done his work. 6 made their Dragons debut today.
Yeah, 6 new faces. They got off to a great start, led 12-0, and then just fell in a hole. Their execution was poor. They looked disjointed. They were dropping the ball, and they allowed the Warriors back into it. And they were good enough to take advantage of it. The Warriors, as I said, came into the second half. They trailed, but then they led 16-14, the Warriors. It's been all the Dragons since then.
Straightforward conversion from Zach Lomax. And a 12-point margin now. The Warriors have to be perfect to try and force Golden Point the way it stands now. And those Dragons fans, they turn up everywhere for their team, liking what they're seeing.
Well, you're right. No, you know, there was Tarek Sims, George Burgess playing New South Wales Cup for the Dragons today. As we have a look at the try again, it's just very hard to get yourself back and set after the run from Tyrell Sloan. Very good inside ball from Ben Hunt.
Short kickoff and diffused by Cody Ramsey. He's done everything asked of him today. No spectacular put downs. It's all been going Ravalawa's way, but defensively and diffusing those kinds of balls, he's been outstanding. Now Molo backs his way over halfway. Kerr back on the angle. Sloan has been hunting around, as we saw in the lead up to that previous try, looking for that customary 4-pointer. Can he get it here in the closing stages? What about the footwork? This guy's step is eye-catching. Talatau Amon, he'll hand it over here.
Yeah, he's got a great right foot on him. You can just see how quickly and how late he drops it in.
Big swinging arm in there from Molo, trying to jolt the ball free. You've got to make sure you get that right. Curran played well in a losing side here today. Valia. Forwards combining. Nikarima held on. Late offload for the fullback. Harris DeVita will play it inside Dragons territory. Back-to-back converted tries in a real hurry here, the Warriors. Fanua Blake trying to milk one, said the referee. Nikarima pops it up. Chance here in the corner. Montoya put on his back. Ravalawa is in the head of Marcelo Montoya. He got some help there, McKaylee, and a try saver executed by the Dragons are fancy.
I think they've saved it. I think you're right, Brenton.
Coming up. We've got a no try. We just want to confirm that he goes touch and goal before grounding the ball. We're also looking at possible shoulder charge in the lead up.
That's certainly the way it looked, that he went touch and goal and he slid in on his back. He was knocked over. He looked like he turned himself back in field just to bear the brunt of the contact. He had Ravalawa, who gets his hands to him, and more than his hands, and then Tyrell Sloan. There's no shoulder charge here.
He just stays in here with the left foot. That's what they're looking at now.
Oh, he goes awfully close. There's green on the outside of the boot, though, so he doesn't touch the line. And then
as you can
steps
see,
off that left foot
between the feet and the line, the green grass, I should say.
Just so he can absorb the impact and stay in. Sloan's hit him awfully hard, and that's done the job. Ravalawa's desperation just to get the arm.
Out. We're just going to look at the contact there from Tyrell.
Tyrell hits him front on.
Yeah, he's got the hands out.
There's no hint of a shoulder charge. That's how it looks from this angle. Just runs into him, chest on shoulder. And it was the chest of Sloan onto the shoulder of Montoya. And he's out.
Ruling out a shoulder charge, was just making sure that there isn't any contact with the head, though.
Well, the head goes into the chin of Sloan.
The left shoulder of Tyrell Sloan makes contact with the head of Marcelo Montoya, which constitutes a penalty. We have a decision.
Well, what is it a penalty try then? Do you say without that contact he's going to score?
Well, you could almost lead to that.
But they're just going to say penalty. Does he go to the bin here?
No, he can't go to the bin. Sure not. Like,
it's a high contact, guys. Penalty here.
Yeah.
Just a penalty.
Just contact with the head. I guess it was, but yeah, what else does the fullback do while he's trying to stop a try? He just collides into a play. There was no shoulder in it. He didn't shoulder charge Marcelo Montoya.
Well, they were that close to getting the try and trying to line up the sideline conversion. They need to score quickly here, the Warriors. Mbai professionally just gives up a fresh set. He doesn't care, trying to extend the time here. Curran pops it out the back to Egan. Knocked down by Amon. That'll do for the Dragons. Time will tick away again.
Where do you want it? Yeah.
Don't forget, we're not too far away from the West Tigers against the Melbourne Storm. We'll be to Combank Stadium shortly as Super Saturday continues on Fox League.
Well, can Melbourne maintain the run, the round one winning form that they have shown for the last 20 seasons?
Right, let's come together now. Scrum clock's still going. In tight, Moses. Arm over him.
I think the Tigers will fancy their chances, though.
Halfback. Clock's off, stay in.
As the home team in that modern venue out at Parramatta. Forward is called. And the Dragons celebrate.
The referee agrees with them. Dragons were calling for the forward pass. It was a quick ball. Wade Egan out to Cody Nikorima by Leah, just standing in front, fractionally forward, but everyone was standing there looking at it.
And standing on a mouthguard afterwards. One of his opponents by chance. And the Dragons now can keep hold of the footy to close this one out. And they came into this game on the back of an 8-game losing streak that completed a forgettable 2021 campaign. A 9-game losing streak would have been the biggest since the merger. But they stopped the rot. They had lost 5 in a row against the Warriors before that win in round 16 last year. So they go back-to-back against the New Zealand side, who have to rebound next week against the Titans. But St George Illawarra, a lot of people tipping them to make a surge into the top 8 this season. Off to a dream start after some scratchiness, Brandy.
Yeah, but look, both teams guilty of losing their way through periods in this match. It's just that the Dragons were able to hang in there long enough and in the end score the final 3 tries of the game that will give them the win.
Jack DeBellin celebrates, so does Anthony Griffin. The recruitment department will be celebrating as well. The new faces have played their part, and the Dragons, things are looking up in 2022 for St George Illawarra. They win here by 28 points to 16.